Feel free, gentlemen, like I said, adjust climate control, get those windows rolled up, make sure both driver's side and passenger side are rolled up, and adjust the radio volume so you can hear nice and clearly. Try to anticipate the car being a bit louder and all that stuff once we're out on the track. Keep in mind you have 3 driving sessions today. So like I mentioned earlier, take bits and pieces out of it. If you're feeling good and the car's feeling good, great. Just make sure if something does go south, if the car starts to step out on you or anything, you get off the throttle, begin applying the brakes, okay? It's just kind of the biggest thing is when the car does start to step out, the computer is doing what it can to help you. So let it. Let's go ahead, get the cars into drive, hit that manual mode button, and we'll go ahead and begin rolling. As we make our way out, we'll start things off with a warm-up lap around the course. We can just upshift through the gears, getting up to 4th gear for now. On the warm-up lap, just set the precedence. Focus on being as precise as you can at this slower speed. Paying attention to the turning cones, the apex cones. And using every bit of the track available to you at those apexes. Our braking cone, you can practice just tapping the brake if you'd like to, just kind of build that muscle memory of saying, hey, that's what I need to do here. Otherwise, we'll just keep the speed flowing through. Practice getting some distance away from that near apex cone, setting up a better line for the rest of the roller coaster. As we get ready to enter into the bowl, we have a straight braking zone before we make our downshift to 3rd gear. We're going to let it swing up to the middle, looking back down to the inside edge. Then coming up the launch pad, nice and square, parallel to that white line, we can upshift to 4th gear. Gentlemen, you're welcome to do those upshifts as you need to based on your own car's RPM, all right? Again, braking at that curbing there that has no cone by it. We're going to balance up the initial radius here of the 5A, utilize light throttle after that 2nd apex to help push the car out to the outer turning cone, and then let it cut back into 5B. Down the hill, we'll carry our speed all the way down. All right, gentlemen, as we come into turn 7, we'll downshift to 3rd gear. Thor, we're going to start building up our pace. Just drive to your comfort level, focus on precision, okay? You can accelerate out. Brake at the 2 sign, carry 3rd gear into this 1st apex. Let it tighten back down, then unwind, accelerate. 4th gear when you need it, all the way down the straightaway. 3rd gear. Excellent. Unwind, roll it in. 4th gear. Good. Let's keep the steering a little more smooth on that transition to get away from that white cone. 3rd gear there in the bowl. Fourth gear. Slowly rolling off Got a straight braking zone. Good, little bit of throttle now. Push out for the outer turning cone. Let's go third gear there. Unwind, accelerate. Deep breath, up to the left side. Softer on the brakes as you come in each time. Be ready now for third gear. Good, roll the throttle. Third gear here still. Down close. Let it coast for a moment. Squeeze back in. Fourth gear all the way to the right side. Slowly over the left by the brake count. Third gear there. Marcus and Tim, keep your eyes up, gentlemen. Good here, Thor. Remember, Thor, we're only concerned with the curving that's directly adjacent to that apex, alright? Fourth. Deep breath. Look to my left here. Where are we going? Firm when you're straight. You can go down to third gear there. Let's try to stay out a little wider, a bit longer there in the bowl, okay? Got it. Perfect. A little bit of throttle. Light touch the brakes, third gear at the top. Good. Get a bit closer to that turning cone, not a big deal. Fourth gear. Shift over. Deep breath. Firm brakes, third gear. Fourth. Third gear. Let it coast a second, tighten in first, and roll the power. Go. Fourth gear. Third gear. Good. Patient. Roll out. Much better. Fourth gear, firm right before that apex. Gradual release. Counter steer, you got it. Deep breath. Shake off. Firm when you're straight. Balance up to the middle. Let it tighten first. Roll back to power. Marcus and Tim, do your thing. We're going to gather up at the end of this lap. Firm when you're straight, Thor. To the second apex. Beyond that second apex is a turning. Remember that. Third gear. Accelerate out. Fourth gear. Excellent. Alright, Thor, we'll start to slow our pace. Nice job. We're going to gather up here on the straightaway for a moment. We're going to get some space from the other group as well, okay? Beautiful. I see you come around there, Marcus and Tim. Just go ahead and slow your pace as well, gentlemen. We're just going to gather up slowly here on the right for a moment. Take a nice deep breath. Adjust any of the controls if you need to, okay? Yeah, it gets a little nerve-wracking, huh? Just remember, light grasp on that wheel. Try and push your palms into the wheel so it's less pressure on your fingers. Dora, I'll have you hang tight here on the right. Marcus and Tim, follow me over to the left. Then Thor, I'll have you take in the back of the pack behind that white 124. Alright, third gear, we're all rolling. Perfect. Marcus, we'll go ahead and start to build pace here. Firm the brake count. We're going to downshift to third gear. Scanning inwards to the corner. Okay, we turned a little quick into that corner. Notice how you started to push away from that apex by the time you're getting close to the cone. A little bit too close to your apex cone, not a big deal. When you're straight, we're going to go down to third gear, up to the middle only. let it take you too high. Go up to the upper edge, it's too much of a distance. Fourth gear when you need it. Gradual roll off. Let's try to get a bit closer to those apex cones there, Marcus. You're about 3 feet away from it, okay? Remember that upshift going down the hill as well. You don't need to lift with that key. When you're straight, we'll go down to third gear. Patience coming down. Roll the throttle out. Fourth gear when you need it. Firm at 2, downshift back to third. Patience, let it point first. Now roll in. So you missed that second apex, 1B by about 2 feet. Now third gear. Started turning in a little early.
Yeah, right.
From that actual turning cone.
It's true, it's true.
Fourth gear in. Maintain your throttle through the roller coaster. Brake firm once you're straight. We're going to downshift to third gear. Don't let it tighten down. Look for that apex cone sooner there, Marcus. Turning cone on the left and your double apex. Got to brake a little earlier because you're even further away from that apex cone. Third gear at the top. Now third gear, let it rotate in. Too far away from the apex there, Marcus. There was 3 feet. Taking the brake cone. Carry third gear in. Need to stay on the brake a little longer. Roll back to throttle. Third gear. Still started turning in too early there, and then something happened with that entry. You got a little spooked. Fourth gear. Firm when you're straight. Third gear. Roll back to throttle. Much better on that apex. Fourth gear. Up there, Thor, relax the hands, the shoulders. Marcus, you're still 8 feet away from that double apex now. Alright, we'll start a slower pace this time around. Gonna gather up here on the straightaway. So Marcus, definitely the biggest thing. Still got to work on that precision. We're missing apexes and making your car travel a further distance. So you're having to work much harder because the car's traveling that further distance and it's putting more G-force in the car. So you're really battling the car a lot when we just need a little bit more steering and look further ahead. Ignore the bumper of my lead car. That's kind of what I'm noticing. You're being reactive to what I'm doing rather than being proactive. All right. I'll have you stay put here on the right side, Marcus. I'll bring my lead car to the left. Tim and Thor, go ahead and follow me to the left side. And Marcus, I'll have you drop back in behind that gray 187. Perfect. All right, third gear. Looks like we're all rolling. Tim, we'll start to build our pace. Fourth gear. Now third gear. Scan ahead. Gradual balance off the brake. Now notice how early you get to that curving. Only touch the curving right next to that orange cone. Fourth gear. Good, got on the throttle a little too early, so pushed you away from that orange cone. Third gear in the bowl. Try and be a bit closer to that near apex. Only about a foot off that white line at the edge of the track. Since we swung out so wide, it made you really early in the corner. Deep breath. Turning cone here on the left side. A little bit more steering. You're about a foot off that curbing altogether. Third gear at the top. And you're about 2 feet off that apex at 5 feet. Look to your next turning cone and apex now. We'll need more brakes. You go down to third gear. Ignore my bumper, Tim. About 3 feet off that apex. You didn't turn the steering wheel enough. Carry third gear, balance with the brakes to the first apex. Then to the middle, and back down. Now we can roll in. It's 5 feet off. So every time you're giving up 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, each time you're giving up speed. Here. Right there, so you lost all this speed you could have had. Fourth gear, ride the brake, get it close, gentle with the hand. Third gear, much better on the entry. Where's your apex at? How much steering do you need to let it follow in? Better, could have been closer to the curbing. Fourth gear, gradual roll off, firm when you're straight. That turning cone all together that time, Tim. At the top, third gear there. Not sure what happened to that apex, Tim, but you just lost all that speed. Fourth gear. You gotta clean up your line, Tim, otherwise you're gonna end up running out of asphalt on the exit. Same thing there, I slowed you down, you still missed the apex. Deep breath, focus here, turning cone, apex. What do we need to do? Let it follow here. If you don't feel that rumble, you're not close enough to the apex. Okay, to the right side. Pull back in. Firm right at that last apex. Deep breath, you gotta brake when you quit. Just be a little smoother with that throttle application there, Thor, okay? Gradual roll off. Look for that other turning cone here, Tim. So let's throw off your line. Find that turning cone early enough. Third gear. And fourth gear.
Fuck me.
Alright, so we'll start slowing our speeds here. Just because that big slide was not exactly good. We're going to gather up on the straightaway for a moment. I think we're all here. Let's keep it rolling so we don't melt down the cars. Leave it in fourth gear, everyone. Alright. Going to start off this here. So Thor, good lines, good adjustments, make good tweaks. Just look like they can work on carrying more speed through certain corners. Turn 3, not going to make up too much time, but we need to focus on getting close to the curbing by the apex itself. Okay, all three of you can kind of work on that one. Marcus, we just got to get more comfortable with proximity-wise. You're 4 or 5 feet off of almost every single apex except for the roller coaster. So that's making you travel a wider radius, keeps more steering involved, so you're working harder. Really just start to get comfortable on this slower lap that we're doing now with running down the curbings. Same with you there, Tim. Tim, you're eager getting on the throttle, but if we're not pointed quite where we need to, it's making you have to make a very aggressive adjustment. And you feel it in the car, right? You feel the back end wanting to step out. You hear the front tires screaming for help. The car's letting you know that something is not right. So getting back that precision of saying, hey, my tires need to be here, will help fix that. But if we're just watching the car in front of you start to pull away and you're picking up the throttle 10, 15 feet before the apex, that's causing the car to get pushed away. We don't want to touch the gas pedal until we can guarantee that we're going to get to that apex cone. The moment we just start picking up the throttle for no reason, because we feel too slow, the car's not going to go where you want it to. And then here, Tim, that turning cone. We should be right up against this turning cone here on the left. When I looked back, you were clear over here. So you can see I'm going to have to crank the wheel to get back in line over to this apex. And that's why you never would touch this apex curving. And then it would push you way out over here to where you have to crank the wheel to stay on the track. Right? When if we were on top of both of those apex cones for 5A, it would have pushed you directly to that turning cone. And then you just have to turn the wheel another inch or two, and it sets you up for 5B. So, you got to relax a little bit on the corner entry, that's all, Tim. And the rest of it will kind of fall into play. And then the little slide that you had here, it looked like we may have gotten off the brake too quick, or we were just very jerky with the steering wheel. All of them can be fixed, gentlemen. We just got to be smoother, pay a little bit more attention to that precision. Luckily, we didn't have to say that word that starts with a D and ends with us having to write a check. Alright, let's click on that turn signal. We're going to pull off course here. On every one of those warm-up laps and cool-down laps, let's really practice that spatial awareness, where our tires are at. Since we're going at a slower speed, it's less likely that any damage will occur if we do get too close to the rocks. But all that we really need, gentlemen, is every orange cone that we pass, we just need the tire to touch some of the curving. You don't necessarily have to use all of it, but touch some of it. What it does is it helps angle the car differently. It helps set you up to get the car straighter, faster, less G-force on the car, and less strain on your body. It points you in a safer area for the next turning cone or apex, next location. Now you can take a look at your lap timer there in your gauge cluster. If you know where it's at, you can play around with that. Otherwise, you're more than welcome to roll down the windows. We are going to take about a 20-minute break here or so. We'll pick back up roughly around 10:50. We're going to be showing some stuff in the classroom. We'll make some group changes potentially, so you may possibly move groups. We'll have to see where the other groups stack up time-wise on the track. So we'll make sure we let you know that in the classroom. Otherwise, take a good breather, and we'll kind of show you some stuff in the class also. Once you're stopped, feel free to press that stop recording button on the PDR. You can put them in park, shut them down, and hop out.
Thank you for watching this video. Please leave a like before you go and consider watching additional videos on the Vehicle Mundo YouTube channel.